Welcome to Audio Books feature by Cloud Expert. Today we'll be talking about Azure Virtual Machine. Let's understand what is a virtual machine in Azure. Azure Virtual Machines (VMs) enable you to create dedicated compute resources in minutes that can be used just like a physical desktop or server machine. Azure VMs are an on-demand scalable cloud computing resource. They're similar to virtual machines that are hosted in Windows Hyper-V. They include processor, memory, storage, and networking resources. You can start and stop virtual machines at will, just like with Hyper-V, and manage them from the Azure portal or with the Azure CLI. You can also use a Remote Desktop Protocol (RDP) client to connect directly to the Windows Desktop User Interface (UI) and use the VM as if you were signed in to a local Windows computer. Let's understand how to create an Azure VM. VMs can be defined and deployed on Azure in several ways. One is using the Azure portal, second is using a script using the Azure CLI or Azure PowerShell, and third through an Azure Resource Manager template. The Azure Marketplace also provides pre-configured images that include both an OS and popular software tools installed for specific scenarios. Let's understand resources used in a Windows VM. When creating a Windows VM in Azure, you also create resources to host the VM. These resources work together to virtualize a computer and run the Windows operating system. These must either exist and be selected during VM creation, or they will be created with the VM. A virtual machine that provides CPU and memory resources. An Azure storage account to hold the virtual hard disks. Virtual disks to hold the OS, applications, and data. Virtual network (VNet) to connect the VM to other Azure services or your own on-premises hardware. A network interface to communicate with the VNet. A public IP address so you can access the VM. This is optional. Let's understand how to size Azure VM. Just as a physical machine has a certain amount of memory and CPU power, so does a virtual machine. Azure offers a range of VMs of differing sizes at different price points. The size that you choose will determine the VM's processing power, memory, and max storage capacity. VM sizes are grouped into categories, starting with the B series for basic testing and running up to the H series for massive computing tasks. You should select the size of the VM based on the workload you want to perform. It is possible to change the size of a VM after it's been created, but the VM must be stopped first, so it's best to size it appropriately from the start if possible. Great! Now you've learned about the Azure Virtual Machine. Hope you enjoyed it. For more audiobooks, please subscribe to our monthly plan in Cloud Expert category. Hey, don't forget to rate our app and share it with your friends. Have a nice day.